Joanne, neither do I sometimes. It's all good. All right. Actually, I do want to take this moment because this is the first time I'm going live today. I do want to wish this little guy on my lap a happy 6th birthday. His name is Anakin, right, Annie? Happy birthday, Baba.
Let's
All
be
right.
with you.
Exactly. But he needs to be on my lap right now. So this is my life right now. Okay. So let's get into it. Episode 5, right?
Mhm.
Little Lies dropped. Watched it. I do want to add something that I missed in last week's episode, though. I mean, yeah, we're still in this week. So yeah, last week's episode. I had mentioned that the little boy, the chubby boy that he meets in the home when
Mhm.
he's older, he's Charles is in a home.
Oh, I know
I
where you're
said,
going.
I said, I wonder if they're gonna talk more about that character, or if that character is gonna be something at one point.
Mhm.
I totally missed when the woman comes in after Charles leaves. The woman comes in and basically says by name, Eddie Caputo, go to sleep right now.
Right.
Well, that's pretty much it. Although it's funny though, because if you watched it with subtitles, she says Andy Caputo, but it's clearly Eddie. It's Eddie Caputo. So that's who that was. So I am sorry I missed it. Must have been a scene that I got up for. I have no idea. I don't know how I missed it. Maybe I just didn't hear what she said. But yeah, so that little boy that Charles meets while he's in the home before he leaves,
Mhm.
when he gives him that severed hand to play with from Captain Hook, is in fact Eddie Caputo. So I thought that was a cool Easter egg. You know, we've
I did miss it. I did miss that also. I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot of shows that I fast forward through.
oh, okay.
I can't even lie to you.
All
So there
right.
might be some weeks when I come in here that I'm super dependent on you. Because this episode I did fast forward through some shit. I'm gonna be
Okay.
completely
Well,
honest.
I'm with you. I've never I see that's the thing. I've never fast forward through this. I mean, there might have been a couple of times or a couple of episodes that I lost interest. Maybe started go check it on my phone. That actually might have been the case when Eddie Caputo was mentioned, but I never really fast forward. The only time I did kind of browse through and was tonight. I rewatched it just because I wanted. This is the first time I'm actually going to go beat for beat a little bit. I might be a little out of order, but I kind of wanted to mention some of the things that were mentioned or shown or whatever in this episode. I thought it'd be a little easier than just getting our takes on the episode.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So in this episode, which another thing, and I had messaged you and I had told you, I was like, dude, another thing that I wouldn't have known unless I watched that first look that they give after the fact. They show you like, you know, the behind the scenes stuff and interviews with the cast. Had no idea that the young Charles Lee Ray that we see in the club
Mm-hmm.
is actually in fact played by his daughter Fiona. Fiona. I thought that was really cool. I would never have known. The dubbing was a little off, you know, because they obviously had to use Brad Dourif's iconic Chucky voice
Right.
to match with Fiona's movements as her father when he was younger. They got the look down. I mean, she does look a little like him, but when they did the dubbing, it didn't take me too much out of the scene, but it did feel a little off, like it wasn't really completely matched. But
Right.
I was completely blown away when I found that out. And then, like I said, I texted you shortly after. I was like, dude, did you get a chance to watch it? You're like, yeah, I watched it as soon as you told me. I think it was Tuesday night you actually watched it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we both watched it Tuesday night, and yeah. So Fiona Dorff actually plays her father with a younger Charles Lee Ray, which I thought was cool when he meets up with that girl Delilah in the club.
Yeah.
Two-Face Chucky at one point now switches bodies, you know, and obviously our heroes or whatever you want to call them, Devin, Lexi, and Jake, they kill what they think is the Chucky doll that's still possessed in Two-Face, but he actually switches to Tommy. I just think that was really cool. It was fun because Tommy was, I believe, an Easter egg for Child's Play 2. When Andy's given a doll or Andy finds the new doll in that home, I believe he says, "Hi, my name is Tommy." So I think that was a nod to Child's Play Part 2, if I'm
I'm
not
gonna go back
mistaken.
to that. I'm gonna have to go back to that.
Now, I did ask you, and I know it was important, but I was too late because you already had watched the show.
Mm-hmm.
I said, listen, you're probably going to not know what the fuck is going on because for most viewers, you could still watch it, but it's just not going to make any sense. When you get to the scene with Nica, played by Fiona Dorff,
Mhm.
And now Jennifer Tilly's character, Tiffany, you're not going to know what's going on because it's not going to make sense because of Cult of Chucky. And this is basically reintroducing us who did watch Cult of Chucky and letting us know.
Well, it did help because they did show flashbacks.
Yes, that was the one thing that helped was
Yeah.
they showed the little flashbacks, which by the way, I believe it's obviously a blink and you miss it kind of thing. I'm pretty sure when they show you the flashback and when he takes over the body and she like she's in a straitjacket, I believe, and she just
Mhm.
pops up from the wheelchair. I believe on the floor, you can still see the body of which I said is the father now of Lexi, right? But he played a different character. He played the
I
doctor in
see.
Cult of
Yes,
Chucky.
you're
Yeah.
right. Yes,
So I'm
yes.
pretty sure his body's on the floor, but it's just like a blinking thing, you miss it.
Right.
We also find out, and I know we were both dead wrong because I mean, there was no way of knowing that Bree, Jake's aunt Bree, and Junior's mom, her secret is in fact she has stage 4 cancer. So she's not cheating on the husband.
You thought it was an affair. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's not an affair. She's actually dying, and she just doesn't know how to tell her family. So
Right.
I thought that was a little sad. It was actually the scene right before we see Fiona and what do you call it? Well, I guess Nica and Tiffany going at it on the bed, which is definitely the hottest scene in the episode. But again, if you don't really know what's going on, it just didn't make any sense, especially after I guess Nica, Chucky, whatever you want to say, say she is, cuts the guy that's in the chair,
Mhm.
that's being held hostage, and then she sees the blood. And I don't know if it was the sight of blood. I don't know exactly what triggered Nica to come through and obviously go back to paralysis and not know where she is. But then obviously she regains it and then kills the guy. Uh, I do like when when Lexi sees the new doll Tommy and she's like, telling the sister, let me hold the doll for a second. I want to give it. And then she just starts beating the fucking wailing on it, starting beating the shit out of it. That was cool. I don't know how you felt about this part. I think this was even more weird than the dubbing that Brad Dourif did for his younger self. So they obviously did it because they wanted to conceal the reveal that the girl that they pick up, him and Delilah pick up to be the third that they take back to the Hackensack Hotel or
Mhm.
motel, whatever it is, hotel, whatever it is in fact Tiffany. But Jennifer Tilly doesn't dub that voice till later on in the scene. So she has a completely different voice. They start killing Delilah. She gets on top of Delilah. Obviously, she's getting off on the fact that she's stabbing. And
Mhm.
then all of a sudden, it kicks in. And there's the reveal that Chucky and Tiffany Valentine are meeting for the first time. So it
Right.
was a cool meetup. And it was good to see how the two actually meet up, the two iconic characters. But that was the only really off-putting moment in the series where I was just like, all right, that was very weird. I don't know how you felt about that.
It wasn't the cleanest, but I was okay with it. It wasn't the cleanest. That wasn't really what my biggest issue with this episode was. We'll get to that, but I did have a big issue, not a big issue, but an issue with a certain part because it was
Okay.
just like very weird how they did it.
All right, and then of course the end of the episode, the episode ends on the principal.
Mhm.
Devin. No, the mayor is calling around. No, it's either I think it is Devin's mom. Devin's mom is calling the mayor, the principal out, whatever,
Yes.
and then all of a sudden her head rolls out, and then the curtains are drawn back and or pushed open, and then you see like her the rest of her body. And what I think that does, it obviously not only serves a purpose of letting our kids know that Chucky's still in fact alive,
Hmm.
but that should also prove that Jake is not the killer because Jake has been sitting there and it's already shown that the principal was alive at the start of that meeting because she's showing everybody to the seat. They're at this, they're in their seats. At least I would hope a good detective would be able to, come to that conclusion that Jake is no longer the killer or shouldn't be a suspect at this point.
Well, she should have known that from the fact that the house went on fire and there
Yeah,
was no Jake.
you would think. You would think. But
That's
also at
why
the
I
same
said I have
time,
no faith in that cop.
there could be a hole in that because he could have been there and they just wasn't visible. You know what I'm saying? When it came to the
Oh, but
house.
remember, what's her name? What's her name said how the fire started. What's her name knows how the fire started.
Right. It was yeah,
Lexi,
yeah. But
she knows how the
did
fire
she
started.
tell them?
Even if she didn't, if they arrested Jake tomorrow for that,
Yeah.
you would be
Well,
able
no,
to say,
not the fire, remember. So even if the fire plot was or even let's say even Lexi confesses that I was smoking a joint and whatever. it doesn't change how that kid, I believe was it Oliver? Well, I can't remember. I think it was Oliver.
It was
He was
Oliver.
stabbed to death. Now you got a homicide on top of a fire. So again, even though he wasn't visible, she can still maybe suspect that he either snuck in or whatever. Obviously, we know that he didn't do it, but again, put that aside, put the whole fire in the house aside. This clearly, if anything, if more than anything, should exonerate him because there's no way he could have done it.
Remember, the maid too was clear that he didn't do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would have thought at that point, but again, the maid looked more like an accident than anything. Oh, so did I mean, but then again, so did the dad too. The one, all these things look like the accident, except for this.
And the fire looked like an accident.
The fire was the accident, but the stabbing wasn't with Oliver. And now, obviously, the beheading of a principal can't be an accident.
No,
so,
that was on purpose for sure.
Yeah.
No, I that was my favorite part of the entire episode.
Playing the principal.
Playing the off with the head song.
Yeah.
As the head rolls and everyone's screaming and freaking out.
Same.
I loved it. It was so, like I said, Chucky saves every episode. Every episode that I go, just get me out of this episode. Chucky comes in and does something or says something, and I'm like, fuck, I'm on board again. Like,
what did you think when Chucky was dumpster diving in the radioactive, not radioactive, we just said it the other stream with the needles. What they're biohazard. Did you see that?
I did. I hated it because the first thing I thought was that episode of the Chappelle Show where he was doing his version of Sesame Street.
Okay.
But they were all like drug addicts, and prostitutes.
Yeah.
And when you saw them inject themselves, it looked as fake as seeing a fucking sock puppet put a needle in his arm. So I was watching, and I was just like, this looks horrible.
It looked weird. It did. It looked weird.
It was funny. It was funny, just like the Chappelle Show thing was funny.
Yeah.
I definitely was just like, you're lucky this shit's funny
because it's not really stated, and we even said that when it came to the killing scene in the previous episode. It's not really stated what is in that. I mean, it could literally be you could have went to a hospital, Juwan, gotten a blood test, and the discarded needle is in that bin.
Right.
So how are you getting a high from that?
I don't know, man. But how does he get high, but the cop dies? I don't
know. I don't know. Well, he is a supernatural doll.
I guess that's what you have to chalk it up to.
So what was your biggest gripe? If it wasn't the dubbing, which again, not for Charles Lee Ray, not that with Fiona playing the father and the father having to dub the voice, obviously, because it's an iconic voice.
Right.
I was okay with that. But like I said, the fact that they chose to, and I understand why, because they wanted to keep the reveal a secret as long as they could, to do it like halfway into the scene. That's just whatever.
Right. My biggest gripe was when everyone thought they won.
Yeah. It was a little too soon, a little too easy.
It was just all really, really weird.
Yeah.
Very, very, very weird. Them just holding hands and then sharing the first kiss was weirder than it needed to be. I fast forwarded through it.
Gotcha.
I went right past it. That was my biggest issue because it's just like, you think you won. And then I love how he's like, what about the other doll? And she's like, oh, no. It's totally cool.
Oh, I checked it. Yeah, no, it's just a regular doll.
Why would Chucky show himself at that point?
Yeah.
Even if he was in that doll, why would he show himself at that point? He would have ruined it.
Well, think about it this way. What did she check? She just tapped him a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, at that point, Tommy was Tommy. It wasn't even Chucky at that point anyway. But you didn't do anything. Did you pull, was he talking and he didn't have any batteries? Did you do the battery check? You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't really do any detective work there. You slammed him a couple of times, but
that was it.
So that's not really checking. It was a funny scene because, like I said, it was only funny not because of what she was doing to Tommy, but it was just funny because the parents and the sister have no idea what the fuck is going on.
Right. So they're just like
looking at her like she's nuts.
Crazy. Like, what is wrong with you? What are you doing?
Yeah.
It's like, trust me, we don't trust you.
Yeah.
That her mother's gonna die really badly.
I think so too.
Yeah, like probably worse than anybody there. It's gonna be pretty bad. But no, that was all I didn't like because it was just so off-putting a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else in the episode. It was adorable seeing ugly face Chucky with his hand on the glass, looking at the
in the
ugly
rain.
one, just like,
Yeah,
aw,
like a little puppy,
right,
like a puppy just kicked outside into the rain. Well, an
right.
ugly
I
puppy.
can't come inside.
Yeah.
So I thought that was funny. I thought that was really, really, really funny. What else? I hate this cop. I'm telling you, if there's one character in this show that needs to die besides Lexi's mom, it's 100% this fucking cop.
Unless she starts to get on the right trail.
No, I just hate her character. The only reason why part of me wants her to live is so that that poor boy doesn't lose both of his parents.
Yeah, you don't want Devin to be an orphan. I was about
No.
to say that. Yeah, that's because I like Devin's character. I'm starting to come around. I told you I'm starting to come around to Lexi's character. I think she's starting her character arc is switching a little bit.
Hmm.
Because I like the fact that I like when the three of them are together. But I told you, Jake by himself, I still no. And
Oh,
Junior's starting to get annoying.
that's what I didn't like. Sorry.
The Junior and the texting or no?
The dinner scene
Yeah,
where it's like, Jake, put your phone down. No.
yeah.
Jake,
Like I
put
would
your
have been
phone.
like,
No. It's like,
you're you're
why
at my
is
dinner
that your
table. Like
reaction?
exactly.
Like, why is that? Why can't it just go? This is really important. Can I just take this real quick?
Yeah,
And I promise I'll put the phone away and we'll just eat dinner. He was making it so awkward, and
I
it's
know
like,
that.
bro, why are you so awkward?
And I'm so happy you included the sour face because it's
It's
it was
always
there.
no,
No,
and it's like
cat.
no, and it's like, bro, why? Why are you being like this?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, I understood Junior's reaction. I would have been like, wait a minute, my girlfriend or whatever she is hasn't fucking answered me all day. What the
No,
fuck she texting you
no,
for? But
I wouldn't feel like that because he's gay. So it's like, well, I don't
no,
care
no,
that
no, no, no,
you feel
no.
gay
It's
for talking.
not. See, I don't think he. No, I see. I no, I get that. I get that part. Yeah, he's got to understand that, dude. He's not after your girl. He's gay.
That's what I'm saying.
But
Like,
but it's the jealousy. It's not even that. Like you have you ever gotten jealous when a friend decides to hang out with another friend over you? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily a sexual aspect or something like that.
no, I
He's
get
just
it, but it's just you. He also has to remember, you guys just argued.
yeah,
It wasn't like things were all great, and then out of nowhere, she's talking to someone she hates,
yeah,
and she's not talking to me. You guys just had an argument, so clearly she doesn't want to talk to you for whatever reason. And I love how Lexi's just like, we can't tell him why. He does. He lacks the imagination.
yeah. And then look what happened. She tried
And
telling him, albeit put a lot on him. Like that was a lot of information in one breath. And he's like, all right, look, if you don't want to tell you, like, just stop making shit up.
yeah,
Just
don't make it up.
yeah. But
Just say you don't
yeah,
want it. And look, I respect that more than anything. I respect that to where it's just like, bro, if you don't want to do this, just say you don't want to do
yeah,
this. You don't have to tell me about fucking killer dolls.
yeah,
It's okay. I'll get
yeah.
over it. Whatever.
Yeah, I was all right. I was all right with that exchange. But look, again, it's another episode where I'm like, I thought it was going to be a little bit better,
Mm-hmm.
especially because it was said that this was going to be the episode with Tiffany and Nica in it. I'm glad to see these two characters again because, like I said, for me and for other people that have seen Cult of Chucky, it's a follow up to where these characters are, and what's going on with them. So that was really cool.
I will say
Um,
this: if this show wants to really go bonkers, right? You have what's Jennifer Tilly? Tiffany.
mhm.
You have Chucky splitting himself between the doll and Nica.
Yeah, and other d and another I think either at least one or other or two other dolls,
Right. So I think what would really make this show pop for me, because I told you I suspected this before,
unless they were
is if they
killed.
make that little girl give the little girl the essence of his son. And that way they have the complete family, but the complete family is all women. And it's now the idea of these women that now can unsuspectedly go from town to town, just committing murders that no one can really tie to them because it's like, they did, come on, look at that beautiful family right there. They didn't
Eh,
murder anybody.
hey, it could be anybody.
That's what I'm saying. Picture his son in the essence of that little girl. And it's just like, can I have an apple, please? And it's like, sure. And you turn around to get it and you turn back and she's just stabbing you 600 times. Like, I would love this show if that's what they venture
Well,
into.
I'm telling you right now, there are a lot of people that won't put down the theory that the teacher is secretly his daughter.
Wait,
The
I'm sorry.
Glenda?
He did let me stop saying he. She did change the gender, right? Because it was born a boy, right?
No, there's two. There's a boy and a girl.
Oh, you're saying the girl came in the movies that I missed.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
No, both
Because the
in
seed.
Seed of Chucky, it was a boy and a girl.
No, it was just a boy.
Just a boy?
Mm-hmm. Because remember when he was talking to Jake and he was saying, "I thought you'd have a problem with me being gay," and he's like, "No, my son is."
Yeah, no,
That was
his
the whole
son.
movie. That was the whole movie about his son Chucky trying to make him a killer, and he was just so against it.
I
Unless
thought
I'm
he was.
remembering this movie completely wrong, which
Yeah,
it
well,
is.
I do. Let me tell you something. I wouldn't doubt that because Seed of Chucky. How many kids? Uh, can't believe I'm looking up. Yeah, because it's Glenn and Glenda, or you're saying that they just swapped genders in the middle of the movie, right? That does.
I think that's what they were saying was that he
Yeah.
had
How many kids is
switched
Chucky?
genders.
I feel like you're right.
But I think Seed of Chucky was just about the boy. So if they're
Children, Glenn and Glenda, which I'm not doubting, but what I am doubting is, are they the same person?
that'd be maybe that is what it is.
Uh, Even though I know my dad really loved me. Glenn about Chucky. Glenn is a child of Killer Doll, and unknowingly was born with the twin sister Glenda. However, for some reason, she remains dormant in her brother's body. So I
Okay.
don't. I'm really confused now. Now I'm really confused. I'm actually more confused now than I was before I fucking
I
looked
think
this
I know
up.
what you're saying. I think I know that's why he was struggling between his identity. Was because he was part boy, part girl, maybe is what they're saying.
Hold on. Seed of Chucky. Glenn and Glenda finally are split after switching souls with the babies, and Tiffany raises the twins as Jennifer Tilly. So at the end, that's what it was. Because I was going by not when they were dolls or when Glenn was a doll, but when at the end of the film, I remember seeing two kids,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them was a redheaded girl.
Yes, I am remembering this now. At the end of the movie.
At the end of the movie, when they're real,
Mm-hmm.
when they're no longer Pinocchio, they're real boys.
Right.
So yes, that's the confusion. Okay. All right. Again, this is a movie that I probably seen once and I'd never want to revisit.
Apparently, I only seen it once, and that's why I don't remember any of it.
So yeah, so that with that being said, a lot of people are under the impression, or it's theories. It's just theories, but that what do you call it? Jesus. Glenda, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Glenda is in fact maybe the teacher.
I wouldn't understand that. Why? Like
I don't
Chucky
know.
just landed there.
Yeah.
Chucky wasn't always there. So how did the kid get there?
I have no idea.
We know Jennifer Tilly's not even there yet.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that would make sense.
I don't know. It doesn't. I think it's just because they see the red hair and they just automatically assume.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I don't
Would
know.
it be a fun Easter egg? Maybe if it's done right, but like you said, it doesn't really make any sense. And my head hurts just figuring out what we just did.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. If we get to the last scene of the last episode, right?
Mhm.
And it's let's just say, for example, it's the cop, the teacher, and Jake. And the cop sees Chucky and she's going in to arrest Chucky, and all of a sudden the teacher stabs her. I would be like, oh, okay, all right, cool.
Mhm.
But if you're asking me right now, is that something that I think is realistic? No, because it just wouldn't make any sense.
It doesn't, and also because of the interaction between the two of them when she had the doll in the school and she put it in storage. He
Right.
didn't seem to, and I'm not saying he would, maybe he doesn't, but he didn't seem to recognize her for anything other than a stranger.
That was it.
Yeah.
And she didn't really make
No. No.
any fuss about it at all.
No.
So yeah.
So yeah. So, all right. Well, look, we got 4 episodes to go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know why I counted, but I'm sure if you say when I say 4, I didn't really have to vocally tell you how many episodes there were
You
left.
sounded like you didn't have faith in your counting.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like it's a Sesame Street episode. I haven't seen any sneak peeks because when you get to
I did.
I didn't. And the only reason why I didn't is because I didn't know if they were going to confine it to 6 or if they, when you get to like the last 3 or 4 of a series and they like show you a bulk.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I don't want them to mix in what might happen in the finale or,
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they probably, honestly, thinking about it now, they probably just confined it to what's going on in next week's episode, correct?
Yes.
All right. They'll probably do what I said after next week's episode. They'll probably say, the last 3 episodes are coming. There's just 3 episodes left of Chucky.
Right. You will like what's coming, though. I promise you.
Well, dude, if it's more Nica and lingerie, even though it was a little weird because it's not a guy, but it's a guy inside. Oh, and we also might have got a little confirmation, dude, about a little more information, I should say, about Charles Lee Ray. I don't know what the line specifically meant. Maybe it's up for interpretation, right? But at first when Tiffany says that she wants a snack, right? Nica took that as, or Charles took that as sexual.
Right.
And he's like, whatever. And he's like blowing kisses to sounds good or looks delicious. Like Tiffany turns around and says, well, look, I'm really glad you decided to broaden your palate.
Right.
But I'm actually talking about real food. I'm starving.
Right.
And then, he basically says, well, if you want to go eat, you're fat.
What you're thinking is exactly what they meant.
They probably, like he's expanding his palate. Yeah. So
I'm with you on that
one. Okay. Sure. We'll see what happens.
All right.
Okay. But yeah, dude, like Nica, I didn't realize it because you really didn't see that in the other films. And again, you've never seen either one of them. But in the other films, I mean, first of all, in Cult, even though I didn't realize this, I didn't realize Fiona's 40 years old. But
I'm sorry, how old?
She's 40.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, her birthday's on the 30th. She just turned 40th. 40.
Nope.
Yeah.
You're lying.
I'm not lying.
You are. You have to be.
So I was just like, oh, I wonder how old she was in Curse, because when you see Curse, she's obviously younger. I mean, if Colt came out in 16, I can't remember when Curse came out, but I was just like, she just looks so much fuller. She kind of looked thick in a couple of the spots. So I was like, oh, all right. I didn't know Nica was working with that. Oddly, like I said, and Jennifer Tilly, I think like she's pushing 60. So, and for 60, she looks fucking damn good too.
Yes, she does.
So I was just like, is this supposed to turn me on as much as it's supposed to? But what are you gonna do? I mean, dude, even with Delilah and we didn't know at the time, Tiffany, younger Tiffany, rolling around on the bed, before fucking cockblock Charles had to fucking say, I'm gonna stab you, but I'm not really going to. That I sounded like him, right? I used to do voiceovers, right?
You did a little bit.
Yeah,
for sure. I'll give you that. No, you did a little bit.
No, that was a joke.
No, you actually did a little
but
bit.
I purposely tried not to. So all right. That's pretty much it.
Trying not to sound good, but it sounded good.
So we've obviously said that the last, I know definitely, I can't remember if it was 3 or 4. I was just like, oh my God, where are we going? I think it was 4. I was like, where are we going in this series? Would you say 5 is course correcting a little bit and it's getting a little bit better? Or do you still think, all right, what am I watching?
I still drastically hate this story. But I am in for the ride of Chucky.
I'm not gonna, like I said, I even said this from day one. I think I'm not gonna stop. I'm not, especially we only got 4 episodes left. I am curious to see where they go with these characters, the character Chucky itself, and for future installments or whatever. I was
gonna say I'm not invested. That I'm there for season 2.
Yeah,
I'm there. I'm gonna hate it, but if Chucky's there, I'm there.
Gotcha. Yeah, tighten up the story. Maybe get better actors. Sorry. I don't know. I didn't mean that. Actually, the actors are fine. Better characters, better written characters, And I'd be all right, but also give Chucky more to do.
I'm going to be honest with you. Everything could stay the same and I would still watch it because
like you said you'd hate it though.
Because if Chucky still delivers the way he has been these past 5 weeks.
Right.
I'm fine. I honestly, I'm fine.
I don't know if the TV, I want to say this the right way. I don't know if maybe because it's a TV series that it's lacking. Maybe it would have been, I'm not saying this story itself would have been better suited as a movie. This was obviously made for television.
Right.
But I'm just saying, like, would they have been better suited going to another film instead of a series?
I think it's split. I mean, because I told you my favorite horror movie of all time, Leprechaun. Like some movies just aren't meant to be good scripts. They're just meant to be entertaining. That's
Yeah.
it. Simple as that.
Dude, I
Entertaining.
haven't seen that movie in 27 years.
Fucking.
Wait, was it 93 or 94? I feel like it was no, it couldn't have been that. Was it 94?
It had to be 94.
But you know how I'm going by with this, her nose.
Jesus Christ.
No, the reason why I'm
Aniston?
saying that is that was obviously pre her nose, and that movie had to have been pre-Friends. And I thought Friends started in 94. Maybe it was just, well, it would have been shot in 93. So
It was,
yeah,
it was 93.
okay, that's what I thought. Okay, makes more sense. So it would have been shot in 92, depending on when it dropped in 93. That's why I was going more in 93, because that was pre-Nose Friends. Wait, pre-Friends Nose.
Pre-Nose Friends.
Yeah, no, definitely
Okay.
pre-Friends
She
Nose.
probably had better friends after the nose.
She definitely had, but yeah.
Um,
Even though I still thought she was pretty in Leprechaun, don't get me wrong.
She was
Yeah.
extremely pretty.
Yeah.
But yeah, some things just aren't meant to be good. And I'm not
You
saying
were
right thing.
zero. You were
Bad.
zero when that movie came out. When did you watch it?
Oh, when I got older.
I watched
When I
it
got
when it
older,
came
I
out.
didn't- yeah,
I
I
was
didn't
15 when that shit came out. I was like,
wait.
it was good.
I was probably born maybe a few months outside of it.
Okay.
Or before it. So yeah, no, I was goo goo gaga. Of course I didn't watch that fucking movie. Wouldn't know what I
Gotcha.
was looking at. But no, some things are just to where it's like, well, were you entertained? Yeah, well then I did my job. You enjoyed
Gotcha.
it. You know, and I think this is one of those things.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely entertained, and the other thing that it serves is we get to talk about it every week, it brings in good conversation. I think this episode definitely brought in more conversation. Again, I was totally blown away when I found out that Fiona plays her dad in a younger version. I
That's
would never known. And other breakdowns that I've watched, Juwan,
Mhm.
other people that have done breakdowns of these episodes of this episode, I mean, have all said the same thing. If it wasn't for that first look afterwards, they would have never known that that was Fiona.
Yeah, it's very difficult. Like I said, it also had a red hue, so you
Yeah.
couldn't really make out anything really.
Mhm.
So it's good.
Yeah, no, she did a really good job. And whatever. All right. Well, that's it for tonight. That's it for our episode 5 spoiler review of Chucky. Obviously stay tuned for our episode 6 spoiler review.
Can't wait.
Last night we all did a fun stream. At least I had fun. We did our top 5 Adam Sandler films. So that's up on my channel now. At the moment, actually, with the exception of Monday Morning Quarterback, I really have nothing else planned at the moment. But Juwan, you just dropped a couple of streams just in the last couple of days, like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, I dropped our Ghostbusters trailer breakdown for this last trailer because it comes out next week.
Right.
We also dropped our review of Disney Plus Day, just the Marvel and Star Wars portion of it. I feel like I dropped something. Oh, duh.
Your
My Psych 3
interview.
interview with Steve Franks.
Yeah.
His partner Chris, his writing partner, not
Gotcha.
lover partner. So make sure you guys check out Psych 3. This is Gus next Friday. Our interview for that is up. It's non-spoiler. We don't
That's
spoil.
on Peacock, right?
It's on Peacock only. Yep.
Gotcha.
So make sure you guys check that out. But outside of that, nothing.
All right. And the one thing I do have in my head planned, I just don't know when. And Juwan, I know you're not going to be a part of it. I wish you would. I did get a chance to watch the director's cut of Rocky IV that just dropped on Friday. I watched it as soon as I woke up in the morning, like a kid waking up to Christmas morning. I couldn't wait. And I want to talk about it, dude. I'm actually like foaming at the mouth. I want to talk about it, but I have nobody that really have seen it yet. So I'm going to wait for that. And once everybody, I mean, I know I could do one by myself, but I'd rather get, a group stream going or just at least one other co-host. So once I get somebody else that watched it and wants to come on with me, I'll be doing that. So also, I do want to let you guys know that is in the works and that is coming on my channel soon. So, all right, dude. Thank you again as always for joining. Jawan from Geek Vibes podcast, Geek Vibes Nation. I think I have your link in the description. If not, I will obviously do so after the stream. So guys, go on into the description of this video. Click on Juwan's link, and go over there and subscribe. You know, you got really good content. Like I said, just last couple of days dropped a bunch. I'm in a couple of them. And obviously smash the like button if you can for this channel, for this stream, and then of course subscribe to my channel for future content. Jawan, enjoy the rest of your weekend, dude, and I will see you soon.
You too, brother.